Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, and welcome back to Upton Farm. It's about 5:30 where I am, 5:30 a.m. Couldn't sleep and did a truck video yesterday. I was talking about how farming has always seemed like more of a morning activity than an evening activity, I guess because farmers get up so early. So it's about 1 in the afternoon on day one. And we've got a few things done. We need to do a little running around because we're not teleporting, and that's kind of cuts both ways. It's keeps you real, keeps you realistic, but you end up running around the map a little bit. And this is a fairly big map. It's not too bad now. We don't have a whole lot going on. We're just trying to get our fields plowed and get our fertilizer in. But it's a big map, and as we get busier, as we get more and more fields and as we get more and more things going on, it's going to be pretty challenging to not have that teleport. But that's how we started, so that's how we'll go. So yeah, it's 5:30 where I am. I live on the top floor of a loft apartment building. And I've got these great big windows looking out over the city. I'm right downtown, looking out over the city, and it's dark right now, and you can just see there's apartment buildings all around me, and you can just see the lights just barely starting to come on. So we're getting the T7. Get it going, and we're gonna put this on courseplay. Courseplay ought to be okay with this implement. It was only that Lemkin from the last episode. And I knew it was going to be a problem because it's always been a problem, but I tend to give it a try anyway, just to be optimistic. And this may take a minute. That's not too bad. Not too bad. We'll get this going, see what it estimates for time. Then we're going to run over to the T8. And last episode I said I was probably going to get that power harrow, the Lemkin power harrow. I did get that, put it on the T8, and we won't have any problems with courseplay with that implement. I've used that one before and it works just fine. So get it lined up for courseplay. Turn that off. All right. And let's take a quick look. 40 minutes. Okay. So if 40 minutes holds, I don't know if there's a back way through here, because our T8 is right on the other side of the hedge right there. And yeah, I think we might be able to do it this way. Hopefully we don't get hit by a train. There we go. So here's our T8 with the power harrow. I think 6 meters. Let's go 2. It's hard to go wrong with 2 headlands. 3 is too many, 1 not quite enough. This won't take long at all. Hopefully, won't take long at all. And then we'll put this is field 27, then we'll swap this T8 over to field 28, and while all this is going on, there he goes. And I believe, did we throw another layer of FERT on field 28? I believe we did. After we plowed it, I think we did. Let's take a look. No. There it is. Come on. Does not want to move. What's that all about? Doesn't want to scroll. Okay, so we've got, yep, nothing we can do right now as far as fertilizer goes. Oh, there is one thing I did want to take a look at. I know I just told the T8 to stop when it was done. And I want to be certain we told the T7 the same thing. So how did we get in there? Yeah, realism kind of cuts both ways, doesn't it? We're also running, we've got and then these are all from Black Panther Group, and you can find them on the Black Panther modding website. And I know they're legit because they come straight from that website. But we're running the oil change mod. We're running the AdBlue mod. We're running the odometer mod. We're running the handbrake mod, and we're running the extra worker, or the sort of worker extra panel. Nope, I did forget. Okay. There's an extra panel you can get for workers that sort of determines what you pay them and what kind of experience they have and how fast they work. It adds some, almost like a backstory to them. They all have different skills and different things that they do better or not as well, and you have to pay them accordingly. The better they are, the more you have to pay them, and the more they work, the better they get. And what was the other one I had? Oh, there's also a fuel extension mod, or a fuel use extension mod. It adds that little meter down below, right hand side by the HUD, and tells you how many hours you have left on that tank. And also, the thing about more realistic and seasons and Gearbox, particularly more realistic, is it does influence fuel use and power and various other things. And there was I believe it was called Better Fuel Usage. It was a great mod and I loved it, but it caused a little bit of a conflict. I found the developers may have cleared it up by now, but I found it caused a conflict with more realistic, so I got rid of that. Good mod, not complaining, just didn't work with more realistic and Gearbox. I got rid of that, and I got the Black Panther fuel use modifier. I'm having really good luck with it so far. Black Panther's a great modding site. Check those guys out if you have not already. So we do have a second layer of FERT on field 31. So I don't think we need to put anything else on there. We don't want to put anything else on there because we're going to fertilize when we drill, so we don't need to worry about that right now. So I think what I might do, get in this guy. That weight I've decided is too big, so that's going away. It's going away right now. So if you're not familiar with AdBlue or the oil change mod, AdBlue is a diesel additive used in Europe and the UK. That's all right, that's right. And reduces pollution and does other good things. So what Black Panther did is there it is. What Black Panther did is created that functionality in a mod. So you can see down in the HUD, we have our fuel, as always, and right beneath it we have, looks like a second fuel icon, a blue fuel icon. That is our AdBlue. And you can buy it in tanks, or you can buy it from this pump right here, and you have to add this in Giant's editor. It doesn't take long, but all that's available on the Black Panther modding site. We need to get a tipper because we're going to go to the farm and we're going to sell some crops and a little bit of money. Now I have to decide. I was thinking AgroLiner, maybe, or we could go with a very traditional British trailer. That's pretty big. What about the Heron? Let's do the Heron. Too late. We just did. So we're going to drive to the farm. We're going to take the brake off. Then we're going to drive to the farm. I'm trying to think of anything that we can sell right now, or buy right now, or take with us right now, and I can't think of anything. So I think we're just going. Now it is 2:15, and it's springtime, so the days are, they're not as short as they will be in the winter, but they're not terribly long, so we need to start, we're on 5x time, so we need to start thinking about getting our equipment put up. I don't like, it's just an OCD thing. I don't like leaving equipment all over the map when it gets to be evening. I feel like if we're playing realistic, we'd put our equipment up in the evening. Maybe during harvest, when everybody's working till midnight and exhausted, maybe you might leave something out if you knew you were going to be going back to it in just a few hours, but it's definitely not harvest right now, so try to put everything up. And with teleport turned off, that's going to be, we'll need to plan, we'll need to really think about how we do that. I don't want to run back and forth across the map. It's tedious. It's tedious to do, and I'm sure it's tedious to watch. I've seen some YouTubers do, when they're playing realistic, I've seen them run back and forth, not teleporting, and running side to side on a big map, on a full-size map, is does not make for good video. So See if there's a way I can do this. And what I might do is just get what I can put away and then do the rest off camera. So this is our little forest cutoff. I want to see what the frame rate does back here. Pardon me. We're going to be getting into some trees, and trees, as you know, particularly big groups of trees can drop frame rate. I want to see what happens to my frame rate back here and if I get any stutter. Not too bad so far. Not too bad so far. We're just about to drive into these trees, so I don't know. Sometimes OBS, and I think as I'm still sorting these things out, I'm sorting them out. Sometimes OBS will capture the NVIDIA FPS counter in the corner, other times it does not. I think it depends on whether I have it set to window capture or game capture. But we got a little stutter through there. May have been loading scenery. Pretty smooth though, so I'll take it. Frame rate, frame rate is the. This is a little tractor. Yeah, I would not. That's an empty trailer, and that is more realistic. Now, more realistic as I understand it, and I'll go back to FPS in a second. I didn't completely forget what I was just saying right there. More realistic as I understand it changes the physics of the entire game, but it specifically affects vehicles and implements that have the more realistic script added to them. So I seem to notice a difference in all vehicles, even vehicles that aren't technically more realistic. And I don't know if I'm really seeing that or if I'm just sort of thinking I'm seeing it. But right there, this tractor is 125 horsepower. Just missed my turn. Yep, I did. All right. Sorry, folks. Fortunately, in this town, traffic is always light. It's rare that you see any traffic. When I say rare, I mean really rare. So, safe to back up. We're not quite struggling, but we're definitely feeling the weight, and that is an empty trailer. So I may, I don't want to get into swapping out equipment this early, but I'm wondering, because I'd also like to get some animals going, and if I'm running back and forth with water bowsers and flatbeds with bales on them, I don't know if this would be the tractor for it. And that turns this tractor basically into a front loader. And I feel like at that point I'm tying up a tractor spot with a front loader. And that's not something I want to do. So I'm going to drop these Drop the front loader right here. It's probably not the best place for it because I'm putting it right in front of a... Putting it right in front of a parking space. But, so it goes now. The grain fill on this farm. Is there a fence there? No, it goes straight back, okay. Right. The grain fill on this farm, and listen, anytime you hear me say anything that might sound negative or like I'm bad-mouthing a map or a developer or something, absolutely not the case. Wouldn't do that. At the same time, I do have to, from time to time, make a realistic observation. And the observation I'll make about this map is the target for the grain spout, for the grain auger, is not exactly lined up. I don't think so. So I tend to have to fight my way in there a little bit. And I do see that the T8 has stopped, but I'm not terribly worried about it right now because the T7 has so far to go. The T7 has almost a full, well, it did have almost a full hour. So I'm not terribly worried about getting over there straight away to... Yep. There we go. Some of this, some of this is going to need to be edited out, I suspect. Right. So we know for next time. That wasn't tedious, not at all. All right. And mostly what I'm doing, I won't, I'm going to be growing wheat, barley, and canola. For some reason, I don't like to get into corn on UK maps. It's not really a UK crop, as far as I know. I know they grow some corn, but not for maize, it's just for silage. And sunflower and soybeans. Sunflower I'm not a fan of because of the other header, and I typically just keep a cereal header. I don't keep a, you can use a corn header for sunflower, and for some reason that doesn't, it's not that it bothers me, but you need to have a sunflower header for sunflowers. Can't really harvest them with a corn header. And now I have two other implements, and I really don't, two other headers, the corn and the sunflower. It just, I don't know, it's just, it's not my jam. So I won't be growing corn or sunflower. So there's no reason for me to keep just a few thousand liters of each one in the silo. So I do this, typically when I start a map, I get rid of that straight away. Now I do sometimes grow soybeans because they're definitely worth a lot of money. But I also, I guess, am, trying to play realistic, and I don't know whether that's always, you want to have a spread of crops. 3 is enough, 4, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's too many, but it just seems to work out that way now. Let's see if I can do this in less than 10 tries. I didn't quite, I don't want to back up till I run the trailer into the silo, but I also don't want to spend 10 minutes doing this again. Okay, got it in one. So maybe I found the sweet spot. So we'll get rid of these soybeans, right? Get rid of these soybeans, and then it's 20 minutes to 4. Get rid of these soybeans. I think we'll drop this trailer here at the farm and head back over to the other side of the map. And I don't know. It gets dark at maybe 6 or 7. So I think we'll have enough time to... We sold the corn. We're about to sell the soybeans. We'll come back and sell the sunflower. And we'll drop this trailer and head to the other side of the map. I don't know if it's best to run over there or to drive over. I think we might run over there because we're looking to not have everything spread out all over the map. So perhaps we'll leave this tractor and this tipper at the farm. I guess if I'm going to stop, it would make sense to stop before I'm actually in the road. This tractor is maybe not going to cut it. We'll get the rest of this stuff dropped off, but this is getting to be problematic. If I'm going to stop and look for traffic, it would make sense to do that before I am halfway across the highway. Note to self. I have to say I'm a little bit off today, and I don't know if it's because it's so early or if the reason I woke up early is because I'm a bit off. Hard to say. I have another tractor in mind already. And it's definitely a tractor that would be at home on a British farm, a small British farm. So we could do that. We could drive this 40 series back to the implement store. We could sell it and pick up that other tractor that I have in mind. But then we'd still be on the other side of the map. We'd still be on the other side of the map. We'd have, at that point, really all 4 of our tractors would be on the other side of the map. So that would mean I'd have to run across the map 3 times. I don't know. Or I could do some follow me. I don't know what my thoughts are on follow me. I mean, I know what my thoughts are. I don't mind using follow me. I think it's a good compromise. I mean, we have a tractor on a worker right now. We're not driving it, and it's doing its thing, so it's not it's not unrealistic to use workers. Everybody does that. So follow me is really just a worker, and instead of them driving an implement around a field, they're driving a vehicle behind you. So sounds like I just talked myself into follow me. So we'll get these sunflowers sold, and then we'll go to the other side of the map. We'll sell this tractor. We'll buy the tractor that I'm thinking of. I keep saying it like it's a big secret or something. We'll get the other tractor that I'm thinking of, and then we will bring the old Ford and the new tractor, the sacred tractor. We'll bring the old Ford and the new tractor. Nope. Back to the farm, then we'll only have to run across one time. Not complaining, not complaining. I'm just curious why Lancey put that auger to the side like that. I'm guessing there's a reason. He's a brilliant map maker. Okay. He's a brilliant map maker. He's made two of my favorite maps ever. He obviously puts hundreds of hours into these. He's not a dumb guy, so I have to think there was a reason for it. I just can't imagine what that reason would be. So, okay. A little bit after 4 p.m. I think we have about 3 hours, and we're playing at 5 to 1, so 3 hours is about half an hour real time. It's 3 hours game time. That'll take us to 7. I believe by 7 it's not proper dark, but it's getting dark. I was going to take the highway all the way to the other side of the map and not cut back through the farm. I remembered we have the front loader, and it's a branded front loader. The other tractor I'm thinking of is not a New Holland. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that front loader at the same time. Hey, there's that OCD again. Can't have mismatched equipment. All right. Now, I like to park tippers up on this hill, and I don't think this thing is going to be able to back a tipper up this hill. So we're going to give it one try, and then We're going to give it one try, and then we're just going to more or less dump this thing. Well, didn't like it, but got it in there. All right, so we'll go pick up our front loader, back across the map, reset the T8. Buy a tractor, pick up the Ford, come back here, run across the map, pick up the T7 and the T8. Here we go. It's interesting. I don't know what I just hit right there. Not sure what I hit right there. I was almost, I'll look on the replay, I was almost certain I had clearance on both sides. So I don't know if that was a collision on a hedge or something that's poking out further than it ought to be, or if I was not where I thought I was. But I'll take a look on replay. To be real with you, I'm still a little rattled by that whole backing up thing. 12 tries to get the auger centered over the tipper. All right, let's see how our frame rate is going back through these woods. Yeah, this is where, last episode, this is where we really struggled. I'm sorry, 2 episodes ago. We really struggled going through all those trees. I made some adjustments in the graphics settings and in OBS, and as of right now, we're not holding 60, but we're doing all right. Looks like pretty good render. Gonna need fuel here in T8, T7 probably pretty soon as well. So same drill, that was field 27, this is field 28. All right. There he goes. You know, it's really interesting for me. These videos that I'm making, this is the first time I've done this, but I've been playing farm sim for several years now. And I've always thought of myself as a pretty deliberate farmer. Fake farmer, you know what I mean, I'm not a real farmer. I've always thought of myself as a pretty deliberate farmer. And I have to say that when you know people are watching, it makes you that much more attentive to everything you do. So I am really absolutely going out of my way to do everything just right. And I think that's why the incident with the auger, I think that's why that really, I wouldn't say it embarrassed me. I know the trigger for that auger is, to my eye, is not aligned. And then the auger itself is not centered. So I've had problems with it before. I wouldn't say I anticipated it, but I've had problems with it before. It's not a big deal. But I still feel as OCD as I am, and I joke about it. I actually am OCD, not terribly, but enough. And OCD is one of those things that I guess different people have different thoughts on what it is or how to define it. I think for some people OCD is, they really are it's very challenging for them. OCD can be very challenging. For me, it's just noticing everything and taking things seriously, maybe taking things too seriously. Hard to describe. Different for everybody. Right. So we're going to buy a tractor. And now all of a sudden I have to sneeze. We are going to buy, if I can find it, we're going to buy this JCB, which I think is perfectly at home on a British farm. And let me just look. That 40 series was 95 horsepower. So probably a little too small. So we're going to go with the middle path, like always. It's a good color for a JCB. Let's go with a white JCB today. I believe there are some Nokians available in here. There are gray rims. Interior equipment. Nothing on the inside. Go with a black grille. Extras. Okay. No. Fast track blend. Okay. Go with 2 beacons because I don't know what side they're on. The monster logo. No. No, none of that's really doing it for me. I don't want to pee on anybody. JCB mudroom. That sounds harmless. Start fire. We'll go with the sensor. No beverage. Okay. And right. And also, we need to wait for this guy. At the moment, we are now there you go. There you go. At the moment, we are now without a front loader, and we didn't lose, but we're 100,000 pounds lighter. £100,000 lighter than we were, and I'm also going to go ahead and get a mower right now, if I can find it. There it is. So we're 100,000 pounds lighter than we were a minute ago, but we had to swap that tractor out. I don't think that was going to work for us long term, but now we don't have a front loader. All right. And we're going beacons both for the FERT box that we have on here, and also because that JCB has a pretty big mower that it's trailing. Blocked A. Okay, seem to be making progress. Seems to be handbrake that's causing the problems. So handbrake, if you're not familiar with it, is just an enhancement of the sort of native air brake and handbrake function that's in the base game. And typically on mods, I think it works pretty well on base game tractors. So this is one of those moments when Farm Simulator begins to become very frustrating. So I am going to not reset the handbrake on the JCB all the way across the map. What I'm going to do is take the Ford over, and then I will probably wrap up for the day and bring everything over off camera. I think for me, one of the best and worst things about this sim is not when it doesn't work, because it doesn't work a lot. If you get into mods in this game, you will be fighting it, I don't want to say constantly, but you complicate your own life when you bring mods into this game. And they're awesome, but it can also be very challenging and very frustrating. And I think for me, one of the most frustrating things is when the game actually works well. Like today, I believe we made it almost an hour. The game was working pretty well, and then it, just a few minutes ago, kind of took a turn. It's not a big deal, it's not the end of the world, and I stress this all the time. It's just a game. If you're frustrated by it, turn it off. And part of it is OCD, part of it is I'm just stubborn, but when the game is working and then it stops working, I almost feel a need sometimes to get it working again before I can turn it off. Like I need to get everything, right? I have to get all my toys put away before I can brush my teeth and go to sleep, or whatever your manifestation of OCD is. I mean, if you are OCD. If you're not, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But for me, rather than, and I guess, I mean, in a practical sense, and maybe it's just the stubborn part of me, but in a practical sense, I think, well, if I don't fix it before I turn it off, then when I turn it on, it's not that I won't remember what the problem is, but I know exactly what the problem is right now with, know exactly what the problem with that JCB is right now. I don't necessarily know what's causing the problem. Here we go, Marathon Man. I don't necessarily know what's causing the problem, I just know it's a problem with handbrake. So, that's fresh in my mind right now. If I turn the game off and I come back to it, then it's not that complicated a problem that I'll have to, I'll see the JCB there and just freak out. I'll have no idea what the problem is. Oh my God, what's this JCB doing parked in the street? It's not like that. But I figure, I may as well just take care of it right now. And I will. And that's... Yeah. So that's just my personality. I'll do this right now. But on a more positive note, the T7 and the T8 are both done. So now there's no problem with those. So I will just get the JCB sorted, and then I'll take care of the T7 and the T8 off camera. You know what? I'm going to take care of everything off camera. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm the Portable Gamer. I'm going to get everything put away and parked up for the night. And when we start tomorrow, next episode, we will be possibly getting into drilling some seed because we're getting close to having all our fields prepped. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next time.